From Cedarvale Lanes in Eagan, Minnesota, it's the Linds Shoes Open, the 15th of 22 Open Division qualifiers of the Brunswick World Team Challenge. 14 teams have already qualified for the Brunswick World Team Challenge Grand Championships. We will decide our 15th today from Cedarvale Lanes. Hello again, everybody. I'm Mike Jakubowski, along with Hall of Famer Earl Anthony. Earl, we have an exciting field today, topped off by Ebonite Nitro R's, our defending World Team Challenge Grand Champions.
And they are tough to beat. This is a team that when they enter the tournament, everybody looks, that's the guys you got to beat to overcome and win the title. They've been very successful in the past, as you mentioned, Mike, but not only that, arguably, this could be the best team ever put together in this country. That's a lot to say, but tell you what, watch them play, folks.
That's a lot to go up against, but we have our semifinal match. Gateway Bowl is getting set to face Linds Lakers.
And this is a tough team, Gateway. They've got a lot of college standouts on it, 2 college All-Americans. They've got some experience under a great deal of pressure. They know the Baker system, so look for them to be very difficult to beat.
Stay tuned for some exciting team bowling action using the Baker scoring system. The Linds Shoes Open is coming up next.
I take the same route to the local pro shop. I wear the same boxers on every show. I watch the same TV program every week. I listen to the same CD every night. I eat the same thing on Wednesdays. I am the same man I used to be. I have a different ball for every lane, but they're all from the same company.
When it comes to making quality bowling shoes, no company does it better than Linds. And now Linds has designed an entirely new approach with the Classic Extra. The Linds Classic Extra offers the ability to change the sliding characteristics of both the sole and the heel, providing virtually unlimited options. If you find the approaches are a bit slick or tacky, the Classic Extra enables you to compensate by simply replacing the color-coded slide inserts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Classic Extra from Linds.
Looking for more strikes and more bowling fun? Then look no further than Going for the Gold with Team USA coach Fred Borden. As today's top instructor, Coach Borden will show you ways to reach your full potential. Professional bowlers Mike Albee and Leila Wagner work with Coach Borden to show you the sure way to higher scores. This 12-lesson video is available for only $24.95.
The Brunswick World Team Challenge is brought to you by the American Bowling Congress and the Women's International Bowling Congress, providing championship service to sanctioned leagues across the United States. Make sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. By Linds Shoes. For the performance approach, it's American-made Linds Shoes, the choice of top professionals and amateurs alike. And by Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. Welcome back to Cedarvale Lanes here on the Brunswick World Team Challenge. It's the Linds Shoes Open. Gateway Bowl. We'll open up our semifinal match against Linds Lakers. And leading off for Linds is Todd Savoy. First of 2 games in the Baker format.
Not a bad opening shot, Mike. Kept it in play, got it in the pocket area, and a fairly simple spare. 2 outstanding teams here, young and strength on the Linds, on the Gateway team, and a lot of experience on the Linds Laker team. So it should be a great match.
Savoy, the 37-year-old right-hander, picks up the 10-pin, fills an opening frame for Linds Lakers, and now we turn to Gateway Bowl. Leadoff bowler Paul Klempka, 25 years old, University of Nebraska assistant bowling coach, to Bill Straub, who's the head coach out there.
Bill bowled on the tour a number of years. I used to bowl against Bill. Big, strong guy. He should have been playing football, not bowling.
Klempka solid for the strike.
You see a lot of good fundamentals on this team from Nebraska. You'll see that they've been coached well and they know how to get to the foul line with good balance and make good shots, and a lot of experience, as I mentioned, on the Linds team. with some international play, and this is one of the guys. Sam Lantto has done some Team USA bowling. International experience will make you a good player. And you'll see both of these teams, I think, keep the ball in play and make their spares very well, and that's what got them to this point.
Dave Hoppenrath for Linds Lakers, leaving a light 7-pin. And Earl, Dave was in a very serious car accident about 6 weeks ago. Broke his sternum in 2 places.
Oh, I got the wrong guy. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I thought that was my lineup's messed up. That's me. And he missed the easy spare, which is not going to happen very often.
And the Contour Power Grip starting lineup is brought to you. Here is Gateway Bowl, Paul Klempka, Randy Wilson, Gotchall, Miller, and Manna at the anchor position. Here is Captain Randy Wilson.
Well, they crossed over, got away with it. Only the easy spare, the 6-pin.
Wilson's 28, manages a bowling center. And picks up the 6-pin with that clearing. And the Contour Power Grip starting lineup for Linds Lakers: Savoy, Dave Hoppenrath, we've already seen, Chuck Vashaw, John Eiss, and anchoring will be Sam Lantto.
Well, if momentum means anything, and it almost always does in sports, Linds has made the move to get to this point. They qualified 7th, made the big move up into the top 3 teams, and they actually had a tremendous match in the position round just before we decided the top 3 teams by winning both games against the team that was in 3rd at the time. They jumped over them to get onto the telecast.
And it happened in 10th frame of the last game. Picking up the count early in this match. 2 games, of course, in the Baker system. Total pins will decide our winner, who will go on to face the Ebonite Nitro R's for the Linds Shoes Open Championship. Here's Rob Gotchall for Gateway Bowl. He's only 19, Earl.
Only 19, but he got a lot of talent there. You got to admire the kid's talent. He's really got good fundamentals, and he makes good shots. Tough spare, the 3-6-10. You see him going after another bowling ball, something he can control and throw fairly straight. He'll stand to the left and throw it pretty hard, try to get the ball between the 3-6.
Gotchall consistent in qualifying, averaging 203 with a 628 and a 592 as he picks up the spare. Linds Lakers in the 4-9 position. The 4 and 9 in his shirt will reflect that he will bowl the 4th and 9th frame in this game for the Linds Lakers. Nice salad.
And these are the guys you got to watch. The guys bowling in the 4th and 5th positions. You can see he's playing kind of an outside line, bringing the ball back from around the 8 board, laying it down around 15. The guys bowling in the 4th and the 5th positions are the guys that you depend on in the clutch to get the job done.
And that's Rick Miller for Gateway Bowl, answering Eiss. Now we move to the men who make the money. The anchor players: Sam Lantto for Linds Lakers, 33-year-old right-hander.
Watch the fundamentals here. Perfect ball position, good arm swing. Look at the balance at the foul line, a long follow, and he missed the head pin. Did everything right, but get the ball in the pocket. You can see his reaction. He's kind of surprised that he got that one that far to the right, which is basically out of bounds if you get it that far right. Sam, an excellent spare shooter, using the same ball. He'll just play this off his strike line and try to hook it across the head pin between the 1-2. Let the ball do all the work.
Now we move to the anchor position for Gateway Bowl. This is Tony Manna Jr., 26-year-old.
Tony, big, strong guy. He can get the ball down there in a hurry if he has to. Likes to play inside, hook it a lot. And he got the break. The big break. Good shot. Got the ball in the pocket. And got good pin action.
We'll be back with more of the Linds Shoes Open here on the Brunswick World Team Challenge following these messages. Welcome back to the Linds Shoes Open. Gateway Bowl with a 31-pin lead in this first of 2 games in the Baker system. Second time around for our players. Todd Savoy, second Brunswick World Team Challenge appearance.
Well, that looked kind of familiar. He got it out to the edge of the lane. It's just not going to come back from there. And, you know, when you trust it that much, you have no chance. Here's a look at it. Remember, Sam Lantto got the ball out in this area, and it doesn't come back. Fortunate, really, to get a fairly simple spare here. He just wants to get the left of the head pin, and the ball will cover all 4 pins for him. You know what they're like out there, Mike. You bowled in this tournament this week, didn't you? Tell us about how well you bowled here, Mike. Come on.
I was kind of hoping you weren't going to bring that up, Earl.
Oh, well, I understand you did come through in the 10th frame, a couple of clutch shots to get the score you did get in that one particular game. I'm not going to mention the score, though.
Well, our team finished 29th out of the 51 that assembled here.
Not bad. Not bad.
We were 14th after 4 games and kind of went away after that. Klempka with the strike. But here is one of my teammates, Earl. Rob Lang shot a .299 game and was congratulated by President Jeff Lind of Linds Shoes. And unfortunately, that 10-pin, which was solid on the 12th ball, cost him the $1,000 bonus.
Well, that's why Jeff's smiling.
That's right.
No, not seriously. One of the nicest men you'll ever meet, Jeff Lind, president of the Linds Shoe Company.
There's Hoppenrath.
Here's another look at that shot, and this one, you can see the big smile he had on his face. Well, this is why. This is the Joyzy Squasha. He got it real high on the right-hand side and just kind of pushed him down.
Here's Randy Wilson. Striking in the 7th frame for Gateway Bowl.
Again, the good fundamentals you'll find on all these players, but especially on this young team out of Nebraska. They can really get to the foul line well and balanced, make great shots. Good coaching.
And we've got 4 in a row for Gateway. If they would happen to shoot .240 in this game, a high roller bonus would be in effect. $500 for games of .240 or better here on the team challenge. And $500 if you shoot a .450 series. So put that all together, there's $1,500 in bonus money available to both teams.
Remember the Jersey Squasher we talked about? Well, here's a light hit from another left-hander, and he gets the great pin action, the head pin doing a lot of damage there, and his reaction was, well, sure, that's the way I played it.
Gotchall breaking up the bucket, leaving the 2.
Unusually warm here this week, and the weather outside has some effect on the synthetic surface the bowlers are playing on, and of course on the approaches. And you'll see the bowlers checking their shoes periodically. Maybe they have a little problem with humidity, moisture in the air, which can change how the ball reacts on the lane and how they can slide. And that one just got away. Can't understand why someone would want to hook the ball this much at a 1-pin spare, but he just got a little careless here, or a little soft with the ball speed. And an unfortunate thing for his team because they were doing so well at that point. Maybe they heard you mention that $500, Mike, and made him a little nervous. I don't think so. Just kidding.
John Eiss, just a tad high, leaving a 4-pin. 43 years old, making his 4th Brunswick World Team Challenge TV appearance.
Good cover there, very easy spare. And again, this is 2 games, total pins to determine the champion of this match, who will then go on to take on the champion of champions, you might say, the Ebonite Nitro team, which has just been an outstanding 5-some for the last 4 years in the Brunswick World Team Challenge, winning the Grand Championships twice. They are starting to strike fear in the hearts of the other teams when they enter the tournaments.
Rick Miller with a pair of strikes. This in the 9th for Gateway Bowl, loading it up for the anchor.
Another lefty, just getting enough of the head pin to get it dancing, and those Brunswick pins will fall if you get them. Got to get them to get them. And there's another one, the trip 4. Now we got something going. It's getting a little exciting out there. The anchor men are showing what they're getting paid for. As you mentioned, Mike, they're the money players. They need to throw strikes.
Sam Lantto was a member of Team USA, our national amateur team, in 1993 and 94. Was rather animated in talking with him before the match. He carried a couple of crossover strikes and remarked that he was happy to get them because he was kind of lost at that point. But he puts 2 in the pocket here in the 10th frame of our first game.
191 with one more.
Just to give you an idea of the format as we're finishing up this opening match, we had, as you mentioned, 51 teams. They cut to the top 10 based on total pin after 6 games of regular team bowling, and then they went into Baker system match play, and we had 10 2-game Baker system matches with bonus pins involved, 15 to win a game, 20 more if you win total pins. And here's some stats. Some of those high games that were bowled during the qualifying. Stardust Bowl with 11-21, Mike, they were outstanding. Don Scudder's team there had an 1100 game. Makes it look easy, doesn't he, this big, strong young man? Here's some of the individual games, Mike.
And there's Rob Lang, who shot the 299. A couple other big games, Gale Myers Jr. and Kurt Hankey. Billy Murphy, who we'll see in our championship match with the high series for the weekend at 720. And ABC Hall of Famer Ron Toft also making the top 4 scores. Manna strikes out for 234. Gets one more. One more strike would make that 234.
I'm always impressed at how young they are, and they still get up and make these great shots. And here's some of the high averages for the qualifying rounds. Lonnie Waliczek, the leader, and that's another player on that Nitro team that we talked about, the Ebonite team.
Mark McDowell from Madison, PBA player.
Past president of the PBA.
Both anchors strike out. 234, 191 in game 1.
And that one easy spare missed the 4-pin, cost them $500.
Gateway Bowl will take a 43-pin advantage into game 2 when we switch lanes and turn things around. We'll take a look at the rest of the top 10 that participated in Baker match play. Minnesota Storm finishing 4th. There's Don Scudder. Abba Treb de Fox finishing 5th. Stardust Bowl from Merrillville, Indiana, finishing 6th.
And in 7th place, the Columbia Rage team from Las Vegas, Nevada. And Shem Bowling Inc. finished 8th from Jefferson, Wisconsin. We had them from all over the place. Action Pro Shop out of Chicago, Illinois, finishing 9th.
And rounding out the top 10, Sunset Lanes Pro Shop from Moorhead, Minnesota. Game 2 is coming up in our semifinal match. Stay tuned.
I've won 23 PBA titles and 2 ABC Masters with Contour Power Grips. They're my choice. Don't you think they should be your choice?
That's a winner, folks. What a great performance by Ernie Schlegel.
You know, Earl, I never really thought I had anything in common with you until I won the ABC Masters title.
Ah, but Ernie, I won the Masters twice.
But Earl,
And Ernie, I've won 46 times on the PBA tours.
But Earl,
And I'm also been elected to both the ABC and PBA Halls of Fame.
Okay, enough. I get the picture.
Well, there is one thing we do have in common, Ernie. We both use Contour Power Grips.
And they give me the feel I want shot after shot.
That's right, and they have the styles and colors that can make anybody's game better.
Contour Power Grips will also help me win my 2nd Masters title, too.
Yeah, Ernie.
Contour Power Grips, manufactured by the pioneers in the finger grip industry, Pro Sports Systems. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. Ask your Pro Shop professional for Contour Power Grips. When it comes to making quality bowling shoes, no company does it better than Linds. And now Linds has designed an entirely new approach with the Classic Extra. The Linds Classic Extra offers the ability to change the sliding characteristics of both the sole and the heel, providing virtually unlimited options. If you find the approaches are a bit slick or tacky, the Classic Extra enables you to compensate by simply replacing the color-coded slide inserts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Classic Extra from Linds.
Welcome back to Cedarvale Lanes in Eagan, Minnesota. Mike Jakubowski along with Earl Anthony in the Linds Shoes Open. We're in game 2 of our semifinal match. Gateway Bowl owns a 43-pin lead over the Linds Lakers with Gateway to lead off.
Always interesting to see how the teams adapt, changing lanes. So this is a 2-game total pin match, and we're bowling on 4 lanes, 5 and 6 here at Cedarvale Lanes, and they have to switch after each game. So it depends on how they adjust. It looks like they're not going to have any problem there, Mike.
And Klempka's 3 for 3, 3 strikes. Back to Todd Savoy. solid for Savoy.
Yeah, he got all of that one, boy. I'll tell you, when they say you get your hand into it, that's what he did here. Look at that wrist strength and that rotation. Gets it well down the lane, plenty of heavy roll on the back end, and it's 10 in the pit. Fun to watch the modern bowlers. I call them the modern bowlers because of the reactive resin bowling balls and the way they rotate the wrist around the ball now, and they can really get some back into it. And that one didn't do it. The 2-4, 8-10. This is makeable. It doesn't look like it, but believe me, it can be done. And especially with the new bowling balls. He might use his strike ball, and he is going to use his strike ball for this. And you try to hook it across the 2-pin, the right-hander from right to left. The ball will hit the 4-pin and knock it into the 8. And the 2-pin should go over and take out the 10. Oh, a little too much hook, but he got the hard ones.
Good bowler takes 2. 2 toughest ones out there.
2 toughest. He picks up the 4-10 out of this. Now you want to put some money up, he can do that again. I'll tell you what, that's hard to do.
The Lakers happy to have Dave Hoppenrath back, who was involved in that terrible car accident, breaking his sternum. Oh. Baby split for the left-hander.
And he's looking for another bowling ball, maybe a little help to get the ball to skid. Here's another look at that shot. You can see it hooks a little bit earlier than he expected it to. Not a difficult spare here. You can see he's got a ball that won't hook at all. Cross lane, fit it between the 2 pins, let it deflect into the 7. That's not going to get back. Sometimes when a bowler switches bowling balls, there are 2 problems. One is it feels different on your hand. In other words, it's difficult to get your thumb out cleanly, and it's hard to control for that reason. The other is you're used to throwing a ball that hooks, and in your mind's eye, you still tend to open up a little bit and give the ball too much room, and you got a ball that's not meant to hook, and you're in trouble. Well, there's one that got down there in a hurry. That's about 80 miles an hour. Unbelievable. This young man is strong. The 1-2-4-8. Again, cross the head pin. He uses his strike ball, line up off his strike shot, try to hook it to the left of the head pin.
And Gotchall on the spare on the outside.
This is the hard way. Just pretty fortunate when you pick it up this way. It's not what he was trying to do, believe me. He tried to get that ball to the left of the head pin, but he hit it so hard and so heavy that it went straight back, and he got all 4.
Vashaw averaging 205 in the qualifying. Cuts through for the big 4.
And Lynn's not really capable at this point. It doesn't seem to make a move on that 43-pin lead that Gateway had after the first game, and they're going to run out of frames very shortly here if they don't get something going. That's basically, in my opinion, the last mistake they can afford to make. It's just going to run out on them real early.
And picking up 2. We'll be back with more of this second game from the Lynn Shoes Open right after this. Gateway Bowl with a 53-pin lead. 4th frame, game 2 of this semifinal match. And Rick Miller for Gateway in the 4th frame.
And Gateway in that opening game with 9 strikes, which is just outstanding. 234 games, also outstanding, and there they go again. And Linds needs to get it going. They are definitely running out of frames. It's getting late in this match, only 7 frames to play, and 53 pins. Not insurmountable, but it's definitely too late to make any more mistakes. You have to make good shots. And that's just not going to do it. The 210, makeable spare, but very difficult. John Eiss getting his spare ball out.
Close, but no cigar.
And the smell of blood a little bit, you might say, for Gateway Bowl. They can feel it now, and as long as they don't start looking forward to bowling the Ebonite team, who are lurking in the wings over on our right, practicing, getting ready for that championship match. He's impressive, isn't he? I tell you, he can flat get some revolutions on a bowling ball. Big, strong man, gets it down there in a hurry. Here's another look. Look at the loft. Look where he's playing. The ball's actually inside the second arrow on the left side of the lane, and still has plenty of energy when it gets to the pocket to get the 5 out. The more conventional way.
More conventional and definitely needed. Sam Lantto finding the pocket. Final time through now. We're in our 6th frame.
Gateway still in the hunt for the 450 for 2 for the high roller bonus. 30 pins over a 200 average at this point right now for the 2 games, and still have 5 frames to play. Strike here would put it right in the area. Gee, just the mention of that seems to seems to be like a jinx. It's like talking about a no-hitter in the 8th frame or something.
Well, I tell you, one thing I was able to appreciate, though, is bowling on this lane condition. You make a mistake either way, and it's gonna, you're not gonna like the result. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what makes the World Team Challenge what it is. It's a competitive lane condition with some of the best bowlers in the world competing as amateur and professional. We get a few professionals out there, but mostly we have the best amateurs you can find. And as we go from city to city, we tend to get the best in the area to compete against, you might say, a regional. And that's what we call these. These are qualifying regional qualifiers, and we get the best teams in maybe 10 or 12 states.
Savoy strikes, and we'll be back with the conclusion of our semifinal match. Linds needs a lot of strikes. We'll be right back.
You're a winner, and you deserve recognition. In sanctioned leagues and tournaments, 2 million awards are handed out each year by the national governing bodies of bowling, the American Bowling Congress, the Women's International Bowling Congress, and the Young American Bowling Alliance.
But your membership card entitles sanctioned league bowlers to more than the awards program.
There's more than $1 million each for college scholarships and veterans hospitals, bowlers supporting their communities.
Every member has a chance to compete in thousands of special events, locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sanctioned leagues also provide for the standardization of rules and supplies, plus league prize money is bonded.
Equipment testing and research helps advance the sport.
Your membership card does all that.
And every lane is inspected annually by local association volunteers. In short, everything runs smoother, and sanctioned leagues are a lot more fun.
So have more fun and help shape the future of bowling by making sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies, the ABC, WIBC, or YABA.
7th frame, game 2, 61-pin lead for Gateway Bowl. Randy Wilson solid in the pocket.
Well, Linds finally did get something going. They've got that double up there, and if they can maybe throw a few more strikes together, put a little pressure on the Gateway team, get them to thinking, hey, these guys aren't dead yet. Anything can happen. We've seen it happen before. In the Baker system, anything can happen. And the lefty. Looks like he's made a big move on the lane. He's playing inside the 3rd arrow. Boy, he got all of that. What a shot.
And 3 in a row for Linds Lakers. Cutting the lead to 51. Still a little bit of room left. Anything can happen in the Baker system.
You bet. And watch the ball speed this young man can generate. Not only ball speed, but rotation. As you look at the score, 51-pin difference. Zip bang. And just a little too much, and a breath of life for Linds. The washout, the 1-2-4-10, not an easy spare. Ideally, you'll get just enough of the head pin to slide it across into the 10. The ball will take out the 2-4. Remember, as the ball crosses the middle of the lane, it tends to want to hook very hard. He has to be careful. Didn't get it there. So, we do have a match.
The open by Gateway. 3 in a row for Linds. Vashaw can chip into that lead with another strike.
Kind of interesting looking at the bench for Linds sitting down there, all 4 players checking the scoreboard up above their head to see what the score is, trying to figure it out. How close are they? One more strike and they'd have been really checking it out. Unfortunately, they didn't get it. A tough spare, the 3-9. Oh, what a big shot that would have been. Strike in the 8th for that one. For those, for the Linds team, would have really made this into a match. There's always a turning point in a game, a match, and that might have been the shot right there. That was the turning point. They were in the hunt, they had a chance at it, and another strike would have definitely put some pressure on Gateway, but now they can basically coast in.
Rick Miller, 9th frame, second game. And the lefty is solid. And speaking of solid, in terms of support for the World Team Challenge, is president of Linds Shoes, Jeff Lind, who's been with us since the beginning, 5 years, Earl.
And he's already got a team in the championship round in Reno, his Linds Limited team, and he was really hoping that this one could accomplish that and get there also, but it's not going to happen. But I'm sure Jeff will be back with another team, and he just, as you mentioned, really supports the game. They make the best shoe in the game, so we saw his smiling face trying to give away $1,000 earlier, but $299 wasn't quite enough for a 300 game. And you got a pair of Linds shoes on, and this is the qualifying rounds here. You can get $1,000 from Linds. This one is in the books. Gateway will move on, and Linds, a very successful week. They had the momentum going. They had that great finish to get to this point, but it just wasn't meant to be this week. Gateway throwing a lot of strikes. I really like to watch this guy bowl. Big, strong, as I mentioned. He can get a lot on the bowling ball, and he still gets to the foul line balanced and in good time. Nice slow approach, good free arm swing, good balance, great follow through. And every time I say that, they miss the head pin. What do you think, Mike? Here's another look at him from a different angle, and we get an idea of the good arm swing. Watch the footwork, nice and balanced, shoulders out over the knees, and watch the foul line. He'll stay in that position. The ball comes off. Look at the rotation and strength in that wrist and the great follow through.
It just goes to show that you have to make quality shots, shot after shot.
Quit trying to make excuses for your 127 game, Mike. Well, you know, I wasn't going to say it, but you got me to say it now. 127 in the qualifying rounds.
And I needed a strike and a 2-4-10 conversion to get there, Earl.
And it was a Brooklyn strike, I heard.
No, it was a solid strike.
And solid Brooklyn, yeah.
But it just goes to show you, I'm a 190 player at home in a house league, and you know, the folks at home watch perhaps, and you can't see the toughness of the lane condition, but the people that come out and participate in this tournament, they love the competition. They love the fact that they have to bowl on a demanding shot.
Well, don't you bowl in a league up there called the Team Challenge League? What are you averaging in that, Mike?
Yes, well, I'm averaging 20 pins lower than that.
All right, well, this match is in the books. I like to pick on you, Mike. You're a good sport. It was a good match. Linds had a good week. Gateway will move on.
We will take you around the bowling world after this and be back with our championship match. Stay tuned for more of the Linds Shoes Open here on the Brunswick World Team Challenge.
Now it's time to go around the bowling world. Brought to you by the High Roller Tournaments at the Showboat Hotel in Las Vegas. The American Bowling Congress, the national governing body for the sport of bowling, recently held its annual national convention as a part of the 94th ABC tournament in Huntsville, Alabama. ABC President Walt Robertson is getting ready to pass the torch on to Gerald Tessman. The Maplewood, Minnesota resident will take over the ABC presidency on May 1st. ABC is an integral part of Bowling Incorporated, created to streamline service to bowlers. Tessman outlined Bowling Inc.'s goals for the coming year.
Overall, Bowling Incorporated exists to provide that single voice for bowling, to offer bowling organizations top-flight, cost-effective, quality services and programs, to realize cost savings for all our bowling organizations, and to increase interest and participation in our great sport.
The ABC convention honored youth bowling as Todd Filter of Cedarvale, Wisconsin, received the 1997 Chuck Hall Star of Tomorrow Award. Filter is a freshman at Marquette University, carrying a 3.8 grade average and a hefty 226 bowling average.
It is such an honor to be standing here in front of all of you accepting this award. You represent every association, and it boggles my mind that I was selected over all the many qualified bowlers that reside in each of your respective areas. This is my crowning moment, receiving, as I perceive it, the highest honor a youth bowler could ever receive.
The American Bowling Congress Star of Tomorrow Award is named for Chuck Hall, the first executive director of the American Junior Bowling Congress. The Women's International Bowling Congress has named Kimberly Klaus its 1997 Alberta Crow Star of Tomorrow. The Mesquite, Texas resident is a freshman at the University of Nebraska and will be honored at WIBC's annual meeting in Reno, Nevada. The WIBC Star of Tomorrow is named for Alberta Crow, a former WIBC president. Both Stars of Tomorrow will receive $4,000 in scholarship packages. The Bowling Writers Association of America conducted its annual convention in Huntsville, Alabama as well, and honored bowling's best. Former Team USA head coach Fred Borden was honored with the John O. Martino Award for his instructional work and worldwide seminars. Bowlers Journal International editor Jim Dressel received the Mort Luby Senior Award for distinguished service to bowling journalism. Tom Koros, the author of Par Bowling, earned the Rip Van Winkle Award for contributions to bowling that began 20 years ago. Do you plan on attending college? SeaWorld presents the 1997 American Scholarship Tournament, bowling's richest single scholarship event. $50,000 is up for grabs in guaranteed scholarship awards at Stonehenge Family Fun Center in Akron, Ohio. There are 12 age divisions. Everyone has a chance to win. For more information, call toll-free at 1-888-269-5278. Around the Bowling World has been brought to you by the High Roller Tournament Series. Call 800-257-6179 for entry information. The Brunswick World Team Challenge from Cedarvale Lanes in Eagan, Minnesota returns with our championship match after these messages.
Our championship match to determine who will qualify for the Grand Championships in August in Reno, Nevada, the National Bowling Stadium. Our Ebonite Nitro R tournament leaders. And leading off is Paul Fleming, qualified at 2:02.
And these guys, there's just no way that the Nitro R team is going to show any nerves. They've been on television more than I don't know, more than some of the touring players. I mean, they seem to make show after show, and they bowl as good as they want to. It's almost like, well, how good are you going to bowl? We're going to bowl a lot better. They're good spare shooters. They keep the ball in play in the pocket area. And there is an opening right out of the gate for Paul Fleming when he chops the bucket.
And in the Grand Championships last year at the Pontchartrain Center in New Orleans, Louisiana, they shot 5-10 in the championship match and just blew away the competition.
Well, that's incredible. 255 average in the championship round with all that on it, you know, all that riding on it. The designation as World Team Challenge champions, and right back, here's the 6-7 for Gateway, and a tough spare. Makeable, but very difficult. Stand to the left, get your spare ball out, try to hang it on the edge of the lane and hope it doesn't overhook on you. You got a chance to slide it over.
And wide to the right is Klempka. The Contour Power Grips starting lineup for the Ebonite Nitro R's: Paul Fleming, Billy Murphy, Sean Swanson, Lonnie Waliczek, who's had some success on the Pro Tour recently, and anchoring will be Chad Murphy. Contour Power Grips. More pros choose Contour Power Grips. You should too. Billy Murphy a bit short, leaving a weak 10.
Billy's another one of those guys, doesn't leave anything behind. When he gets to the foul line, he gets tremendous wrist rotation, lifts up hard on the ball. The harder up you lift on the ball, the more rotation you get on it, but the tendency then is to lose accuracy and consistency in your ball speed. So you have to be careful. You have to balance those things.
Good spare, hard and fast, cross lane. Nitros are on the board with a spare.
Actually, I feel the advantage in this opening game of this 2-game total pin match for the championship goes with Gateway because they've already won a match. They defeated a very strong Linds Lakers team, and now they're comfortable. They bowled on this pair. They bowled in front of the television cameras. So I think mentally there's an edge there. Now, how long that's going to last is another question as we see the trip 4 here, playing right around the 4th arrow. Got a little bit high in the pocket, but from that angle you will trip the 4 more often than you would from an extreme outside angle.
Here's Sean Swanson bowling in the 3rd and 8th frames, qualified at 194. He's only 26. This team in general, Earl, is very young, ranging from 24 to 27.
Very young, but very talented and very, very experienced. There's no question that as a unit, this team is as good as you can put together right now, as good as we've seen anyway in the team challenge. Talent-wise and experience-wise, they've bowled together for a long, long time. As you know, there's a cousin and 2 brothers on the team. They just melded together as a unit extremely well. Once we get through the lineup that's going to be the turning point. If anything's going to happen, it'll happen after we've gone through, each team has gone through their first 5 frames.
Crossover for Gotchall. That's a double. We are early in our championship match, first of 2 Baker games, and we'll be back with more on the Brunswick World Team Challenge.
It's a tank.
A dancer. It's off the charts.
It's on target. Concrete.
A theory. Ruthless. Only meaner. It's there in the 10th frame.
Perfect symmetry.
It's a partner. A hero. A scapegoat.
It's war.
And peace. It's a Brunswick ball. For any lane. It's a habit.
In our great sport, there are people who bowl and there are bowlers. The difference is right here in my hand, the American Bowling Congress membership card. Without standards or rules enforced by ABC, what do our accomplishments really mean? The greatest bowlers of all time have always been ABC members. It's important because it provides the credibility we all need. So when you go bowling, make sure you ask to compete in an ABC-sanctioned league or tournament. It's your assurance that you really are a bowler and not just going bowling. Let's go bowling with ABC.
The Brunswick World Team Challenge is brought to you by the Silver Legacy Casino, proud host of the 1997 Grand Championships, August 24th through the 28th, with the qualifying and the exciting finals at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. We're in the 4th frame of Game 1 to determine who gets to make that trip to Reno in August. And here's our first look at Lonnie Waliczek for the Nitro R's, who led qualifying with a 221 average. That, of course, 6 games of qualifying. Waliczek solid.
And that gets the Nitro R team going in the right direction. It's just whether or not they can continue in that direction with Gateways continuing to put the pressure on. They are on a double. There's another look at Lonnie's shot. Lonnie, as you mentioned, gaining some experience on the Pro Tour now, and that's definitely going to benefit his game overall.
And Waliczek making some noise on the PBA Tour with a couple of cashes in recent events. Rick Miller answers. 3 in a row now for Gateway after the open in the 1st frame on the split.
And they are looking really strong. Remember in the opening match, they bowled on the right-hand lane. The first game had 9 strikes in that game for 234, and they're taking advantage of that knowledge now by putting some pressure on the Ebonite team, and he's got to answer right here. Big Chad.
Chad Murphy, anchor for Nitro, coming up short.
It's kind of a wry smile on his face there, maybe a little bit of wonder what happened there, folks. It came off my hand before I was ready to do anything to it. When it comes off your hand before you can jerk it, you're in trouble, you know. You can have time to lift it, and when it slips off your thumb, sometimes you just lose it completely.
Murphy on the spare. These Nitro R's are no lack of confidence, Earl. Asked them the question, arguably you're the best team in bowling. How do you respond to that? They said, we agree.
Well, what are they going to say? Oh no, these other guys are. I mean, you know, you got to. If you don't really truly believe in yourself, of course, you don't have to go around and tell everybody you're the best, but you got to believe you are. That's why I look at it anyway.
Manna comes up high, leaving the 6.
That's what you were doing when you were bowling out here, weren't you, Mike? You're saying you were the best? I'll leave you alone. I promise. Okay. Deep inside line here. Doesn't quite get it to the right far enough, and the ball hooks a little early. Easy spare. A lot of ball speed on this one. Slide to the left, throw to the right, and just like that. Now is where we see what the proof in the pudding. Let's see if this is the second time through the lineup for the Ebonite Nitro Rs, and they should be a little more relaxed now, ready to go. Have an idea what the lanes are like?
Gateway with a 20-pin lead. Here's Fleming coming up high, 3-6.
He was pretty happy with the shot when it left his hand, wasn't real happy with the result, and not an easy spare. Only 2 pins here, but the right-handers have to be careful. He's going to go cross lane at this, try to get the ball between the 2 pins, but he has to be careful it doesn't break early and chop the 3 off the 6.
Fleming picks up the spare. Talked with him earlier, and he had basically taken a 6-week break from bowling, so he was kind of excited to be back. And with the team doing well, they were fired up and looking forward to this competition today.
One of the advantages they have, they know each other's games so well from competing with each other over the years and constantly bowling under a variety of lane conditions. They know how to adjust to those lane conditions based on ball reactions of their teammates, and that's an advantage.
Klempka drills the pocket, and we'll be back with the remainder of Game 1 of our 2-game Baker Championship match. Here from Cedarvale Lanes right after this.
When it comes to making quality bowling shoes, no company does it better than Linds. And now Linds has designed an entirely new approach with the Classic Extra. The Linds Classic Extra offers the ability to change the sliding characteristics of both the sole and the heel, providing virtually unlimited options. If you find the approaches are a bit slick or tacky, the Classic Extra enables you to compensate by simply replacing the color-coded slide inserts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Classic Extra from Linds.
Getting the proper feel is important to every bowler. Grip inserts provide you with that proper feeling on every shot. That's why today's top professionals choose only Contour Power Grips, and you should too.
Contour Power Grips, manufactured by the pioneers in the finger grip industry, Pro Sports Systems. More pros choose Contour Power Grips, you should too. Ask your Pro Shop professional for Contour Power Grips, the grips that legends use.
I take the same route to the local pro shop. I wear the same boxers on every show. I watch the same TV program every week. I listen to the same CD every night. I eat the same thing on Wednesdays. I am the same man I used to be. I have a different ball for every lane, but they're all from the same company.
Yeah, taking a look at some statistics. The Nitro Rs, 207 in the regular 6-game team competition, but Gateway Bowl at 207 in the Baker, Earl.
That's an outstanding Baker average, and it's very unique for a team to average higher in Baker, but we had 2 teams do it in the top 3.
And a very even match play competition as the top 2 teams even 5-5 in their match play. Nitro R's qualifying in 1 and bouncing between 1 and 2 and finally taking it back in the position round.
And they bowled extremely well in that position round match to get the lead back. They had their hands full.
Gateway Bowl bouncing around in their journey to number 2. And Bob Klatt, bowling and marketing manager here at Cedarvale Lanes. Friendly family fun is the aim around here, and they sure aim to please, Earl.
They do, and they do a great job. And a lot of happy bowlers running around in Eagan, Minnesota.
Seventh frame, Game 1, Billy Murphy Nitro.
Billy just out of time, just getting to the foul line way too fast with the feet and has no chance to get through the ball with any balance and control. Here's another look at that, and it just gets up there so fast that he just can't stay in balance. You can see him kind of falling off to the right here, and you fall off to the right, the ball's going to go right or left. It's not going to be on line. Gateway team not backing down a bit. I tell you what, they're up for the challenge, and they feel, hey, you know, when we talked about how good this team was at their bowling for the championship, they say, hey, we can handle these guys.
A lot of these guys had faced the Nitros in college competition. Randy Wilson for the University of Nebraska. So they've faced them before.
The 2-8, not an easy spare. Double wood, you want to get both pins with the ball, probably use his strike ball, and play just off his strike line. As you can see, it's if you can get the ball to hook into the 2-pin and deflect into the 8, you're in good shape.
Wilson, part of the Madson's B&B team that had won a World Team Challenge qualifier in Edmond, Oklahoma back in 1995, just about 2 years ago. This week, in fact. We're through 7 in game 1, 25-pin lead for Gateway Ball. Long way to go. Sean Swanson will toe the line for Nitro here in the 8th frame.
He's kind of like a inspirational leader for this team, I feel, and Sean gets going, the team tends to get going. There you go, and that'll get the team going, and you can see his reaction. Two-game match, and you know, we're still here only in the 8th frame of the first game of this 2-game match, and anything can happen. That's what makes the Baker system so outstanding. And the crossover hit, 10 in the 5th. That's all that counts. They're all gone.
That was the only shot I could hit in qualifying.
Well, Rob got his. Here's another look at it, and you can see he's playing the extreme inside angle, trying to get the ball to right. They cannot get the ball to skid, so they're going to have to make some adjustments. The lanes will change. And the players with the experience, he's a very young guy, and he's talking to his teammates and saying, hey, you know, I thought I threw it pretty good, but it hooked. Lonnie Waliczek.
Light in the pocket carrying is Waliczek.
And here comes Ebonite. So Gateway has to continue to keep the pressure on. Waliczek playing right around the 3rd arrow with a lot of ball speed, end over end roll, and really hit hard. See the team coming off the bench. They're getting involved now, and like I say, Gateway has to keep the pressure on.
Miller Light couldn't trip.
What's going to be really interesting is Gateway on their best lane, in my opinion, based on what they scored in the earlier match. They're 234 in this lane. They're going to have their hands full when they switch lanes. They struggled a little bit on lane 5 or on lanes 5 and 6 here at Cedarvale lanes. Ebonite Nitro, when they come to this lane, it might be their best lane also. So when they switch lanes and come to lane 6, they may put a number up there that could be hard to stay with for Gateway.
Chad Murphy, only 24, making his 11th World Team Challenge appearance in 5 years.
Missed the head pin right last time. And that's the normal adjustment. You miss it right, then you hit it in the middle. Got a break, really. Only the 2-4. Not a difficult spare. The team on a double, and he would have really liked to have gotten at least the first strike in the 10th. But more importantly, he must fill the frame. They have to stay close in this first game. Possible 191 for Ebonite in the opening game, and Gateway right at this point going at a 207, but a possible 217, which would be a 26-pin lead in the opening game. Not near enough to put a team like Nitro away, like Ebonite away, but anything you can get out in front of this team has to be a comforting feeling.
191 for Ebonite in this opening game, first of 2 to decide the championship here at Cedarvale Lanes for the Linds Shoes Open.
has to be aggressive here. Doesn't want to get cautious and maybe get the open. So be aggressive. Make it your best shot. Boy, he got all that. I'll tell you what, that was a great shot. That's impressive. Stayed with the shot, had great balance at the foul line, got it well out on the lane in front of him before his fingers came out. His thumb was out for at least 6 inches. Just a great release. Good concentration. Look how steady his head is going to the foul line. Got a break. Oh, almost got the double. Mike, that would have really been a helper. But the important thing is he got the first strike in the 10th, which with the fill will be 207 and a 16-pin lead to start that second game of this 2-game total pin match.
It's going to be within a couple of marks. Very interesting when we switch lanes. And there's one more. Make that 208. And we had a non-televised event last week in Detroit. Lodge Lanes, that's ABC Hall of Famer Bob Goyke in the back row on the left. Our winners, they will advance as well to the Grand Championships in August in Reno. 208-191 and a 17-pin lead for Gateway Bowl will turn it around and decide the championship right after this. Welcome back to the championship match here on the Brunswick World Team Challenge. Gateway Bowl with a 17-pin lead over the Ebonite Nitro R's.
Both teams bowled respectable games in the opening round of this 2-game match, 191 to 208. Gateway has their hands full. They have to find this lane. This is one that's been difficult to solve for all the teams that have bowled so far, all 3 games that have been bowled on it. No one has really bowled very well on it as far as score goes. On the other hand, everyone seems to do quite well on the right-hand lane, lane 6. So the Ebonite team, because they were the tournament leaders, had their choice of starting and finishing lanes. They decided they wanted to finish on the lane they felt was their best lane, which is lane 6. So if they made the good choice and if they can get lined up quickly, that 17-pin lead could go very, very fast.
And Klempka on the spare, filling that first frame. Paul Fleming bowling in the first frame for Ebonite. The elder statesman on this team at 27.
Not an auspicious beginning, the 3-6-10. Not an easy spare, and even though he is a very good spare shooter, when you leave spares like this, you're asking for trouble, and he has yet to get lined up and get the ball in play. He's really struggling. Got a break. Actually missed it and made it. You can see his reaction, a little wry grin there again. Seems like that's what the team is doing. They seem to be almost overconfident. They look like they're maybe a little bit too relaxed, and they're not out there really making the effort to make the great shots they need to beat a good team like this. Gateway's not a pushover. They better get it together if they want to win this match.
Members of this team have won on team challenge competition in the past. Randy Wilson with the 2-4-5.
Fill the frames. We always talk about that on the team challenge, and that's what it's all about. You have to fill the frames. Get your spares. The strikes will come. As Mike was mentioning earlier, it's not an easy thing to do to throw a lot of strikes on the Baker system, and especially on the World Team Challenge lane condition that we put out there to make it a challenge. So you've got to fill your frames, and that's not how you do it. And that's a major mistake there. Trying to hook into that spare is asking for trouble. Hard and straight down the left side would have been a much better choice.
And we have a score correction. That first game was 207 for Gateway, 207 to 191. Tournament director Tom Bodecker on top of things as always.
Well, that lead, which was 16 now that we've got our score straightened out after the first game, has now diminished to about 3. So things turning around very quickly, and not because of Ebonites really putting any pressure on, it just Gateway struggling with the left-hand lane.
Billy Murphy on the spare in the second. We move to the third frame now. Rob Gotchall with another opportunity.
Oh, what a great shot that was. And right when they needed it, they need some kind of an inspiration to get going again. But I'm still kind of surprised at the relaxed attitude, so much so of the Nitro team, the Ebonite team. They just don't seem to be really into it emotionally. Maybe they have so much experience, they're just kind of laid back, and that's dangerous. You don't want to be laid back. You want to be out there with a little bit of butterflies. You want to feel the tension. You want to make shots like you really need to make. There was a great shot by Swanson. Cross lane for the 10 pin here. Sean fiddling around with his ball, trying to get the right feel that he needs. Well, that's why they put paint on them, so you can so you can make them on the edges. Okay.
Swanson saunters back.
Sean, everything Sean does, he kind of saunters. He just he saunters from here to the car. I mean, you know, he just kind of goes along that way through life. Nice and relaxed.
Here's Rick Miller in the fourth. Caving him in.
Oh, what a big double, though. What a big double. Gets him right back in command a little bit here. Here's another look at that shot. You can see the left-hander playing around the third arrow, sending it out to about the 8 board. Ball really came back hard, got a good break, had the 6-8 momentarily, and his reaction was, yeah, I knew I could do it. Nothing to this game. Here's a guy that's been really making some pretty good shots, Lonnie Waliczek. Throwing it hard right up that third arrow. Oh boy, that ball really hooked on the back end. And what happened there is he got around the side of that ball. He knew when he let go that it was going to go left. He was just hoping that he'd get a break there. He's cleaning his shoe. Maybe he had a little problem with the approach. Might have stuck a little bit, but he definitely had that ball going left. When he watched him at the bottom here, this is a great shot. Coming around the side right there. And when you do that, the ball's going to go left. And he got around it a little bit early, but he looks like he was pretty balanced at the foul line, so I don't think it was a shoe problem. Again, a difficult spare. You can't keep making those if you keep leaving them. You're going to pay the price, and they paid the penalty that time. And that just helps Gateway get a little more relaxed, and they've got the big guy coming up now. Here's another look at that spare. The big guy coming up that plays the anchor spot, and he can definitely make good shots when he has to. We've seen him do it before, and this team, again, looking very relaxed and laid back. Not aggressive at all, the Nitro team, the Eagan team.
Tony Manna with a chance to extend at 37.
Oh, boy.
Gives it right back.
Incredible, and you can see he is very disappointed in the ball reaction there. Thought he'd made a pretty good shot, the 2-8-10, an almost impossible spare. And this ball got off his hand extremely well. Just doesn't quite make the turn back to the pocket. Maybe a quarter of an inch from being a wall shot. Might have got the strike, but that's bowling. Bowling is a game of micro inches, you might say. What a turnaround that was. Opportunity to really take command of the match. Could have had 3 strikes in a row and some extremely big lead, you might say, but instead they put him right back in the match here.
Well, this puts the hammer into Chad Murphy's hand. Let's see if he can take advantage. A little high, almost leaving the 6.
Well, that was kind of fortunate, really. He had that through the middle of the head pin. Could have had a big split, got away with it, got a good count, 9 count, and easy spare. Here's another look at it. Watch where the ball hits the head pin, almost dead center, and this is looking for disaster here. The last pin out on the left, the 7 pin, and he gets a break to kick the 10, makes it a very easy spare.
We'll be back with the remainder of our championship match right after this.
He is the vice president of the Linds Shoe Company, and I tell you, he's a wonderful guy. Just a great guy to be around, a lot of fun to talk to. Great right-hand man for Jeff Lynn.
Last 5 frames from Cedarvale lanes to determine who will move on to the Brunswick World Team Challenge Grand Championships. 10-pin lead for Gateway Bowl, 6th frame. Everybody's starting to come a little bit high.
Well, there's a good look at the Linds Extra shoe. That's the shoe I wear. Mike Albee, of course, wears that shoe, and a lot of the other professionals. It's a great shoe to wear on almost any link and on any surface. If you're having problems sliding, you can adapt your shoe to that surface, and that's what it's all about. That's what makes the best shoe on the market, in my opinion.
And the winners of this match will pick up those Linds Extra shoes with some other goodies, including the prize fund and the trip to the Grand Championships.
There you go. Look at that. Now that's what would be nice to have. That's what you wanted. I know. That's all you cared about was that ring, Mike.
The keepsake rings and your choice of fine bowling products from Brunswick.
Well, we're coming down to the nitty-gritty. We're running out of frames, and if anybody's going to make a move, it's now or never.
Yeah, it looks like Fleming picked up the intensity a little bit.
Yeah, he made a move on the lane also. He moved to the right, threw the ball a lot harder, just forced it on line, and that's if you have the ability to throw the ball hard, you can overcome the lane conditions sometimes. And generally, the guys that are bowling anchor on these teams, they can throw it hard, and that's why they're down there. The guys in the 4th and 5th positions can get a lot of ball speed and keep it on line, just like this. You see the ball doesn't have a chance to cut through the middle of the head pin because it's still skidding, basically. But with the reactive resin surface, it'll still hit.
Billy Murphy with a chance to even this match in the 7th frame. We're all even, Earl.
Yes, we are. You know, it's kind of like a couple of big heavyweight fighters. They've been sparring for 8 or 9 rounds. Now it's a 10th round, and they're both going for the knockout. And boy, I'll tell you what, they're really turning it up. Ball speed's increased for everybody. They're running them out. And look at now, we've got some intensity. Where was this for the first game and a half, huh? How about that, huh? Gateway has to answer right here.
And they go back on top by 10.
Same guys, same lanes. All of a sudden, everybody's pumped and they're making better shots. Now, I tell you what, is this game a game of emotion or what? That's what team bowling is all about, and that's what it should be about. And boy, I'll tell you what, folks, get a team together. Try this. You're going to love it. Sean Swanson, 8th frame. Got to hurry, get over there. Look at this.
Strike, and we're tied again.
Oh, my. Here's another look at that shot. This ball never had a chance. When it left his hand, it was going to go left. He knew it. Everybody in the building knew it, but not many of us thought it would strike, but he got away with it. The 5-9 fell out. Last 2 down. All right, the big lefty. Got to keep matching him.
Oh, my. Rick Miller.
Made
solid.
it look easy, huh? My, did he make it look easy.
Smooth, tremendous, confident stroke.
What a great finish. We're down to the nitty-gritty here at the 9th frame. And the guy's probably got as many games bowled under pressure as anybody out here. Lonnie Waliczek. Big strike here for his team. If he strikes here, I don't think Gateway can shut him out.
And the excitement of the Baker system.
Here's another look at it. Watch the light hit. Watch the head pin go to the wall, comes off the wall, does a lot of damage on the 4-5-7, and the reaction of the team. Now, where were these guys for a game and a half? Hard to imagine that all of a sudden they can just turn the key and the engine's running, and they got it in racing gear the way they go.
As good as they are. Here's Manna. Oh, my, another strike. Perfect.
Well, they're not backing down. There's an opportunity for a tie here also. Remember, it was a 10-pin game, and they just keep trading strikes. Another look at it. Really got down and went through that shot extremely well, used his knees very well, extended through the shot, and that's what kept it on line. Possible 218 for their team this game. Oh, the crossover. All right, let's let's just look ahead and see what could happen. 218 and 207 would be 425 total for 2 games. Ebonite with a 191 opener, possible 234. Folks, that's 425. So we would have a tie, and then we have a roll-off. What that roll-off would be, just so you get an idea, because this is his count ball, I'll continue to talk. What that roll-off would be they would pick their 2 players. Doesn't have to be their 4th and 5th place players. They can pick 2, and they'll bowl each other 2 frame total pins wins the match. Now that could be disaster. Bad count for 214, a total of 421. 2 strikes and 8 pins wins the match. 2 strikes and 7 pins, I should say. Is that correct, Mike? 2 and 7 win this?
Busily scribbling.
Yes, it would. It would win the match. 422 to 421. So he needs 2 strikes. Look how relaxed he is. He's having fun. Little does he know, if he doesn't strike, he has to walk home. You know, he's got a mean brother.
Confidence under pressure.
Unbelievable confidence. How many people could be up there laughing and having, he's even kidding the other team over there. Hey, this is easy, guys. Want to see me do it again? Watch this.
They've been there before, and that means a lot.
Well, they've twice won the Grand Championship, but this is the big shot right here. He has to have this one. All right, strike of the week right here.
They changed their lineup prior to today's TV match. Let's see if it pays off.
A little more ball speed, a little more direct, and he got it.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and there's a lot of joy on this side of the ball return, and some broken hearts on the other side. The Gateway team felt they'd bowled good enough to win, and they did. But you just never know. He still needs 7 pins, actually 8 to win, 7 to tie.
This very team lost in the Grand Championships in a very similar situation when Sean Swanson cut through for 4.
I'm wrong. It's 7 to win, isn't it? 7 would be a winner. 231. Right through hard and straight.
There it is.
Well, an incredible victory, huh, Mike? An incredible comeback for the Nitro team, the Ebonite team, and a heartbreaking loss for Gateway.
They were down and kind of listless, and a couple of strikes woke them up.
And they made the right choice of lanes, finishing with 234 on lane 6, which is the one that's been the high-scoring lane. And a great game from Gateway, 214 on the difficult lane. So it was a good match all the way through. Boy, they made it exciting at the end. It wasn't much going on for a while, but they sure turned it up on the end. The last 5 frames for both teams were outstanding.
It's still amazing to see him in that situation, and as calm and as collected as he was, to go up there and just drill 2 in the pocket. This is one of the absolute most fun you could have in bowling. Team bowling in the Baker system and team bowling in general. If you'd like to become involved in the World Team Challenge, American Bowling Congress members, this is for you. Brunswick Peachtree Lanes in a couple of weeks in Norcross, Georgia. Dublin Bowl, unfortunately we have no entries left at Earl Anthony's or in Norcross, Georgia. We'll get to see Ted Hoffman and the folks at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl.
Yep, I'm going down a couple days early just to visit with some friends.
And Don Carter's Kendall Lanes will host an event. There are entries in Miami, in Kendall, Florida, and Country Club Lanes in Baltimore in late June. Princess Lanes, our stop in July, and the Silver Legacy Grand Championships. And one final women's event left at Brunswick Perry Hall Lanes at the end of June. If you'd like information on how to enter the Brunswick World Team Challenge, give us a call on our hotline, 414-423-3387, and we'll be back to visit with the Nitro R's as they go on to their 4th consecutive World Grand Championships after this.
You're a winner, and you deserve recognition. In sanctioned leagues and tournaments, 2 million awards are handed out each year by the national governing bodies of bowling, the American Bowling Congress, the Women's International Bowling Congress, and the Young American Bowling Alliance.
But your membership card entitles sanctioned league bowlers to more than the awards program.
There's more than $1 million each for college scholarships and veterans hospitals, bowlers supporting their communities.
Every member has a chance to compete in thousands of special events, locally, nationally, and internationally.
Sanctioned leagues also provide for the standardization of rules and supplies. Plus, league prize money is bonded.
Equipment testing and research helps advance the sport.
Your membership card does all that.
And every lane is inspected annually by local association volunteers. In short, everything runs smoother, and sanctioned leagues are a lot more fun.
So have more fun and help shape the future of bowling by making sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies, the ABC, WIBC, or YABA.
The Brunswick World Team Challenge is brought to you by Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. By Contour Power Grips, the pioneers of the finger grip industry. More pros use Contour Power Grips. You should too. By Keepsake, designer and manufacturer of championship ring awards. By Bud Light, proud sponsors of bowling. Make it a Bud Light. And by the American Bowling Congress and the Women's International Bowling Congress, providing championship service to sanctioned leagues across the United States. Make sure your league is sanctioned by the national governing bodies.
Here we are, folks. Welcome back. And here are our champions, the Ebonite Nitro R's, and they did it in a championship fashion. Chad Miller, congratulations.
Thank you. We'd like to thank all the sponsors of the tournament and our sponsor, and it was just a great week. Just unbelievable. Thank Lynn Shoes, the title sponsor of this stop, and it was just awesome. Great finish.
Not only a great finish, but you guys looked kind of lackadaisical there for about a game and a half, like you're kind of pacing yourself, and all of a sudden you turned it on. Is there a little motor inside you can turn on whenever you want to?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because I paced myself the whole weekend. I bowled horrible the whole weekend. These guys held me up. They were just incredible to watch this week. Billy and Lonnie bowled great, and I mean, it just turned it on. The position round match the same way. We were down. We were on our way down, and we just started bowling good. It's unbelievable.
Anytime you want to, right, Chad? You guys have a chance to defend your championship now. As you're looking forward to that, I'm sure, because you've been trying very hard the last few tournaments to get back into that position in Reno.
Yeah, very much so. We won at 94, and then the next year was a big disappointment, and then last year we came back and won, and hopefully we'll just stay close and be there towards the end and have a chance to win it again.
Well, the competition is going to be strong, as you well know, and here to make the presentation to the champions is the president of Lynn Shoe Company, Jeff Lynn. Jeff?
Thank you, Earl. Boy, you had everybody on pins and needles all weekend, so you really did good. But I tell you, just like Earl said, you didn't come alive really with your fight and your camaraderie and everything until later in the match. So, but anyway, congratulations, and I hope you can make it back-to-back in Reno.
All right, congratulations again to our winning team, the Ebonite Nitro R's. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
The next Brunswick World Team Challenge telecast is an open division event from Brunswick Peachtree Lanes in Norcross, Georgia. Check your regional sports network listings for dates and times. For Earl Anthony, this is Mike Jakubowski. So long from Cedarvale Lanes in Eagan, Minnesota. This has been an ABC Eagle Productions telecast.